Hey there, wine lovers! Your favorite winemaker is back, and we're diving into the delightful world of rosé and sparkling wines, exploring their unique journey from the driest to dry to demi-sec. Plus, we'll answer that burning question: what makes blush wine stand out from reds and whites? So let's sip and learn together. So our first stop will be our Brut Sparkling. So the first stop on our sipping journey is our sparkling wines, and we're going to start out with the Brut. And with sparkling wines, they are all dry based in general, only on style, not really by grapes. The Brut has a driest, crispiest taste to it. And just a key note, champagne is sparkling wine. Sparkling wine is not champagne. And the reason for that is champagne is originally from France in a place called Champagne. So pretty much when the champagne process and the popularity started to grow, other vineyards started to get into making champagne as well. And I don't blame France for this. I actually agree. I would do this same thing as well. Once champagne started to get really popular over the world in different countries, France noticed that everyone was copying their style. So they made it into a law. I can't remember the years, like 1900s, I believe, like the early 1900s. But they literally made it into a law saying if you do not make within a radius or just within the same type of style, soil, anything of that, you cannot call it champagne. You have to call it sparkling wine. In Champagne, France, within a certain radius, their permission, all that after a certain time frame, like years ago, like anything now, it has to be sparkling wine unless it is made in Champagne, France. So champagne is sparkling wine, but sparkling wine is not champagne. So just remember that, guys. So let's get started on sparkling wine. Look at those bubbles. So Brut sparkling wine. Bubbly, bubbly. Look at those bubbles. So with sparkling wine and champagne, the difference from regular wines, as you probably all noticed, is the bubbles and the carbonation of the wine. And that's all because of the process of sparkling wine. And it has the same fermentation process in the beginning of what I showed you in one of the videos prior. And it just has a second fermentation process where it uses the yeast and the sugar that was processed in the first, but it only adds like more of the alcohol and the CO2 in the second fermentation process, and it's more in a concealed, dark, enclosed area for a little bit longer to create the sparkling wine you all love to drink on special occasions, whether it's like a anniversary, a graduation party, or just cuz. And some people like to say it's like a little light on calories, which is fine. You still get the alcohol percentage of 11 or 12%, and you still get to have some fun on an easy diet as well. So let's enjoy our Brut Sparkling. It is very dry, and it does have that crispiness to it as well. Don't really get much flavor from it, but the grapes usually made with champagne are Pinot Noir, a Chardonnay, or Pinot Meunier. And there's multiple different styles of sparkling wine or champagne, as you want to call it. And it goes from like the extremely dry to, it's still not really considered sweet because your cane sugar is added to the final byproduct of sparkling wine to give it that sweetness. Because remember, champagne sparkling wines are mainly dry base, and that's mainly based on the style and not the grapes. But the grapes used, again, are Chardonnay, Pinot Noir, and Pinot Meunier are the grapes used in champagne. And the levels of dries to dry to demi-sec, which would be the dries to dry goes from Brut Nature, Extra Brut. Brut, what I'm drinking on right now, what we have at Water's Edge Winery Bistro of E-Town. Extra dry, dry, and then demi-sec. And the next sparkling wine I'll try with you would be considered a demi-sec. And what would demi-sec would be like a Prosecco. The sparkling wine that we'll be trying next is a Prosecco. I'm just saying next in that category of what demi-sec is, what most people love of the sweetness of wines would be considered like a Prosecco. But our Brut is pretty, it's nice, easy going once you get past the crispiness and the dryness, but it's nice, doesn't leave the mouth too parched, still get like a little moisture at the end. But yeah, it's pretty good and definitely can get the booziness. Alright guys, let's go to our almond sparkling. Now with the almond sparkling, we consider this a little bit of like the demi-sec because of the sweetness with the hint of almond on the back end. But it's not overpowering with the almond nutty taste of it, but it really gives it like a different type of style if you've never tried either sparkling wine, champagne in general, or just a wine with like an almond flavor to it. It's really good because it's like the perfect balance of dry and sweet. Our almond sparkling. So if you want something like a Prosecco in a way, then you would go for our almond sparkling because of the sweetness to it. But if you're cool with the dryness and still get the booziness, like you'll still get the booziness with this, but you just don't want the sweetness, then you'll love and be okay with the Brut. If you want some sweetness to it, then you'll love the almond sparkling because it is one of the popular sparkling wines, of course, because everyone loves sweet wines. So again, if you want something sweet in the sparkling options that we have, go for the almond. The dry, you can go for the Brut. And it's just so sweet. And it's still got that dryness to it. And not enough sweetness, but just the sweetness. You just want to keep going to just taste more of that sweetness. So it's a dangerous drink. But we also use our sparkling wines and our mimosas during our brunch on Fridays from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays from 9 a.m. till 3 p.m. So come enjoy our delicious brunch options like our breakfast charcuterie board, which is a one-stop shop with French toast, bacon, sausage, egg, biscuits, and fruit. Or try our delicious French toast platter, or one of our breakfast flatbreads or steak and egg flatbreads. We have a lot of good options. Or salmon croquettes, which is really good and nice little southern comfort with one of our mimosas, or just a regular glass of sparkling wine, whatever treats your fancy. We have it here at Water's Edge. Now that we tried our sparkling wine, let's move on to our blush options. And we're going to start off with our rosé, our white Zinfandel from California. Now usually with blush wines, they are like fruity wines from like red berries, citrus, and like melon, and maybe a little bit of floral notes to them. And they are from the grape Zinfandel, but grapes can be grown as white. And as this one, it is a white Zinfandel, so it might have some pinkish undertones on the grape itself. So when it's crushed, you get this nice, beautiful blush color to it. And they usually run from dry or sweet, depending on your palate, and also remember where the grape is grown. because they white Zinfandels are like a low tannin, light bodied wine. So let's try our rosé. Nice. Can smell like the little berry flavors already. With our rosé wine, it is a soft, refreshing, medium dry with flavors of strawberries and raspberries. So let's do our 4S's. So she has a beautiful rosé color to it. Also wanted to note that the grapes can be like a white or like pinkish undertones, but it can also be a red grape itself, except for the skins is not soaked into the must, which is the juice of the grape, as long as it usually would be for a regular red wine. So some blushes are still from the red grape itself, it's just the skins aren't soaked in the must as long. So it can give it this nice, beautiful blush coloring. So that's the color you see here with the first S sight. The next will be swirl. And I don't know if you guys have noticed how not only holding a glass of wine but also swirling it, but this is the proper way to hold a glass of wine. And the reason is, we'll do a little science trick for you guys if you want to pause this video real quick. But if you want to go to your kitchen or even outside, you still got some snow on the ground, and get in your freezer and get some ice, and just hold one little ice cube in your hand real nice and tight, and you let me know what's happening right now. Oh, you probably didn't even do that. You're probably just thinking it's gonna melt, duh. Well, of course. So if you hold, like most people, anytime, even if you're doing it right now, I can feel the coldness of the wine because it has to be in the refrigerator, because only red wines are best drunk room temperature. You can feel the coldness of the wine, and your hands and your body is already warm and hot. So when you're holding the glass of wine, you're warming up your wine, which you don't want to do that. So the best and proper way is to hold it at the stem. And that also is where you can get a good swirl going on a flat surface in between your fingers. It doesn't matter which way, and you can just swirl it that way. And also when swirling also opens up and aerates the wine, so you can get those beautiful bursting notes on the nose. And I do smell more of that berry flavor, strawberry, raspberry. Next and best is the sip. That is a good rosé blush wine. And it is medium dry, which medium, remember, before you just gulp and just drink the wine down, you want to do like that gargling, like balance on your tongue to give it that weight, to see how heavy the wine is. See if it's like a light, medium, or heavy type of wine. It's just like the base of the wine itself, not to give it like this thick syrupy, but just like this heaviness to it. Like, is it like a lightness to just, it's kind of hard to explain. Like I said, the tannins are really low to really non-existent, and I say it's a semi for me. Like I said, when other people try to get more sweet to it, I get like a hint of sweet, but not too much sweet. I still get that dryness, but it's not like overbearing or powerful dry. Because remember, we're out of the dries. We got out of the dries of the whites and the reds. So we're moving on to everyone's favorites, slowly but surely, but we're just going to slowly travel down that road, guys. It's okay. We're going to save, for some, the best for last, but I feel like all the wands that we were trying are the best, especially for me. But I'm just saying. So this is a nice, lovely blush wand, the Rose White Zinfandel from California. So our last one I will be tasting today, and the last one of considered dry or semi-dry. So give it up for you guys. You guys did it. You made it to the very end of the drive. I know it was probably hard, long, burning journey for a lot of you guys, but you did it. If you actually went and tried all the dry wines, and you was a trooper, and you did it, and you probably actually liked and enjoyed, and hopefully it expanded your brain and knowledge on wanting to try more and different types of dry wines. But the last but not least that we'll be trying, which really isn't dry, it is a sweet, is our pink Moscato Muscat Blanc or Noir from California. And this is like our regular Moscato with a splash of Merlot to give it that blush coloring to it. So yes, some blush wines are still white wines with some red wine added to it to give it that blush coloring. I know, it's crazy, right? So blush wines can come from either the grape itself, naturally grown, a red grape just with the skins not really soaked long in the must, or from a white wine itself and just has a splash of red wine in it. So let's get started on our pink Moscato. So here is our pink Moscato Muscat Blanc or Noir from California. Now with this one, as you can see, she has a beautiful, nice pink blush coloring. It's not as deep as our Rosé, the White Zinfandel from California, but it still has that beautiful blush coloring, which is perfect for Valentine's Day, which is coming up. And hopefully you guys get your tickets to our Valentine's Day ball with the Relo Experience. It's our 5th annual Valentine's Couples Dinner, so you don't want to miss this. Fellas, we got you covered, so all you gotta do is pay that price. We got the food, the drinks, the entertainment, even some little goodies you can go home with. But for our pink Moscato, we have a beautiful color, so let's get the swirl on. And remember, if you can't do it in the air yet, you'll be experts by the end of these series. You can do it on a flat surface in between your fingers, doesn't which way you go, it doesn't matter which fingers is in between, as long as you get that beautiful swirl. And also with a pink Moscato, remember she has beautiful strawberry, raspberry, and cherry flavor and notes. You can definitely smell that after you swirl it. I mean, like cherry I smell with some raspberry. And the last but not least, the sip. So she is a sweet wine. Don't really get much any tannins, nothing, just like the Moscato. But with that little touch of Merlot, and with the characteristics of the Moscato, gives it that nice little strawberry, raspberry, and cherry flavoring, which is still pretty good and nice and refreshing. It's light, it's not heavy, it's not overpowering, overbearing, or nothing. So it's like the perfect all year type of wine if you want to drink. And she's a blush wine made from a white grape with like a little touch of a red wine base. Well, red wine. A white grape with a touch of red must. Just a touch. It's like a kiss of that redness. And I hope you guys are paying attention on what makes blush wands stand out from their red and white counterparts. Well, that's pretty much your answer. It can literally be the grape itself, or it can come from a red grape just without the skin soaked in it as long, or a white grape itself with a touch of a red musk grape. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, especially of the white and red wands. Big congratulatory to you guys for getting through the dry wands, because we're going to be moving on to everyone's favorite, the sweet wands, especially ours, which is completely different from your normal wands that you get from the stores or other vineyards. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the dry wine part of this series with our whites and reds. And remember to answer the question for next week's video is, what is the difference between fruit wine and fruit infused wine? So answer below in the comments. I can't wait to see what your minds come up with, especially with the blush wines, because it's very new and exciting to learn about something new and different that you never thought that how the whole process goes from one simple ingredient, a grape. So until next time, keep sipping. Cheers.